Observer's going to be the one leading the way. He's got the telekinesis, and it looks like this is likely to succeed. They're going to be running right past this Observer. Puppey sees it's empty, and there we go. Oh, they're a bit slow.
Yeah, they were just... That coordination was not great. They still managed to hit the stun, though. Telekinesis, pull back. Could they actually finish him off, though? They can't body block him, so there's no real way for GeneRaL to be able to close that gap quickly. The dust is going to wear out, and a fresh invis laid down. They are going to try and keep going. Jesus Christ! All right. It's both sentries down and a dust. They did get that first blood.
Mid because of a strong dual lane down bottom with a Centaur. Like, Centaur Bounty can't fight this 2v2. There isn't really an obvious lane for Puppey to help. Perhaps the best one he could have done is perhaps top. Oh, mid. Skewer back. Mid one. Instant Ghost War. Wasn't quite in the tower with that skewer. Really nice attempt with that telekinesis. And mid one. Yeah, he'll still be okay.
He's going to be cut off here by RMN. Very low chance, but he might be able to get this kill. If he hits the stun, now has to pop the Diabolic Edict afterwards with the extra nuke or the Phase Bolt. They might still be able to get this kill. Puppey comes in, soaks up some of the damage, tries to get some return kill onto RMN. Drops a cheeky little branch there.
Not exactly farming amazingly, but he's got 11 CS against what should have been a tough lane, and they're going for it again in mid.
Round 2, no TP here. This time MidOne will just throw out the tornado and try and run back, but it looks like they may have the damage anyway. Pajkatt stops the last right click. Dendi, can you get it? 2 seconds? No, the shockwave's not going to be there in time. In fact, Biver may end up going down. Pajkatt is just beating him. A new one. Dendi can't do much to stop that, so this time around, it's the support that dies.
Like how he even tried to empower the Rubik to help him get that kill. Just couldn't quite get it. Nice attempt from Navi. And losing just his support for all those rotations isn't all too bad for them, considering the other lanes where they've taken the T1 bottom tower. They've almost got a kill onto KheZu. He's going to be forced to hoof stomp himself out of there. And with the stun coming up, RMN still wants this.
Oh, and he just happened to hit Puppey while he's invis too, so Puppey couldn't even get a whole lot of damage to RMN while they're underneath that tier 2 tower. It seems like the laning phase, maybe Secret are planning on with this Bounty Hunter actually getting an early lead thanks to the Bounty Hunter's presence, but it's actually been quite the opposite. He has not managed to accomplish nearly as much as the Na Vi supports. Now with a triple stun combination, they'll pick up Puppey as well, 4-1 to Na Vi. NP, maybe, with a Sunstrike. RMN, oh, his TP was just about to complete. It was so close, but not close enough. Now Biver may go down.
Does not have a TP, so do not see a good escape for him. Does have a telekinesis.
Pull back.
Push MP back, but
think he would.
TP still.
GeneRaL, he would have to be there just to give Biver a chance, and he doesn't want to risk his own life, I think. Losing this
Storm, so it's like, you go in, you're committed there. So he falls back. Navi going to smoke up. They've got the level 6 on Pajkatt, so he may not have any farm, but they still feel like they can use this trio to find a kill, ideally on the Invoker.
They're not going to be able to clip Puppey with that one. They may still be able to bring MidOne down. They'll hit the stun as the Chronosphere fades back, and there's going to be a lot of Secret heroes to be able to respond. Dendi does manage to get a really good RP, though. No turnaround, though. RMN is going to get burned out from the Ignite. Unfortunately, it would have been a nice combo stun, but Dendi...
Necessarily getting farm, but
yeah.
How safe he's... I mean, he's not dying because he's a void, but...
Biver, I'm sorry, dude. Your rotations... They're good in the beginning, but this time around, you will be caught 5-5 now as Secret are beginning to get a read on what Navi's shenanigans. The smoke may still be successful. It's been popped on NP, but Pajkatt is in position to make a goal here on RMN. RMN has his ult out, so at least he'll get some damage in return. Might be enough to actually kill Pajkatt with the Diabolic Edict damage still going out and a shockwave coming in from Dendi of his rotation. They do get a turnaround, one support for one support.
Alright, not all too bad. Navi did bring the Magnus in for that, although it looked like Dendi was just in the neighborhood farming anyways. He's gone back for an Iron Talon, going to be rushing an Echo Saber. He's going a more farm-oriented build himself, where he can actually dish out some good damage. And Chronosphere at bottom, they've caught MP.
Oh, look at that, GeneRaL.
Great play. Yeah.
It's the Caustic Finale creeps and finishes up with a Burrow Strike, meaning Dendi's influence.
Them down using the Edict just based on their team fight strength, so I think having a Centaur to find pickoffs is going to be key for them. He has queued up the Hood though, so it doesn't look like he wants to rush into it, which means Secret are going to be playing like a very more slow-paced, farming-oriented game if they're not going for the Blink.
Oh, maybe they do still catch Dendi. He actually tried to skewer up in order to get away from all this, but he was pretty tanky. I thought he was going to be good walking away, but he ends up getting his TP canceled, and now he's just trying to lead them on a merry chase. MidOne will not be able to claim the bounty, though.
Yeah, Stampede to help get. I don't know if he gets that Fire Blast off without the Stampede. So
didn't really get much, but you can see even before the Midas, he's sitting at 4.1k, not too far behind both MP and MidOne at this point. Dendi. Oh, nice attempted play there from MidOne with the preemptive Sunstrike to get him during Skewer, but Dendi does not go that direction.
Yeah, you feel it. Even if I guess if it landed, perhaps they would have committed more damage for it, but it did feel like they were lacking. And Void, Chronosphere up top, finds KheZu with RMN. Navi just...
I think you're right in saying that, like, Navi have done good enough in the laning phase. They can push this advantage, and a Maelstrom will do that a lot better for you, giving you some damage. They're going to be able to get the Epicenter combination onto KheZu. KheZu does have the Hood of Defiance, but this much magic damage is still going to overwhelm him. The Sunstrike comes in, unfortunately, on the wrong target. GeneRaL will be the one to tank it and easily lives through it all.
TP mid, they want their shrines, but MP is camped on the high ground. GeneRaL. Uh-oh.
Now, GeneRaL's going to be gone on. He's definitely dead. Dendi is still in the neighborhood, but not going to make the rotation up. I thought maybe we'd see some sort of... This is just going to be a minor. No big deal. Congrats. You counter to counter. What's the big deal about that? But results in Chronosphere being whiffed. Epicenter being drawn up here. Here comes RMN charging in, trying to finish off with that Burrow Strike, but the Stampede comes in. Unfortunately, that plus 15 movement speed just wasn't enough. GeneRaL's now been caught by the track, and they're going to be chased down. MP will go for RMN, while KheZu puts a stomp onto GeneRaL. TP out from RMN will be successful, but that turnaround was big for Stomp. But they will have the track to be able to keep on top of Pajkatt, it seems. Chronosphere laid out. He's going to go and try and get to the other side, but KheZu's on top of him. Does manage to get the blink, and Pajkatt's TP is canceled. Secret are finding pickoff after pickoff. They are managing to run Navi around the map, separate them, and then find these very key kills.
Yeah, this is good play from Secret to get themselves, I mean, kind of back in this game. They're not really that out of it. They're just playing the slower paced game. They're playing the farm game. So it kind of appears, I guess, on the surface that like, oh, Navi's doing more. They're pressuring the lanes. They're the ones who are initially getting more of the kills. But Ironman at top.
Sunstrike will finish him off.
Great combo. Yeah.
Biver does manage to steal the stomp that will lead into GeneRaL hitting a stun as well, but KheZu is very tanky. He's got Hood of Defiance as well as a point booster. Biver's now going to be blasted down by MidOne. Double kill for them. Also track kills going the way of Secret. The Desolator wouldn't have as much value, and you'd need that extra defensive item, prevent initiation. But Navi, they actually are getting kind of run around, and they got a lot of tier 2 damage there in the bottom lane. GeneRaL's going to go for an Epicenter onto Pajkatt. Now, this time around, it doesn't look like a Stampede will save him, but in the end, it's Pajkatt. That guy's literally known for dying. He's okay. Pajkatt actually jumping forward away from the Hood Stomp. They're going to be controlled up by the Cold Snap, though. He's too far forward and gets picked apart. Secret, you take the Ogre, we'll take the Void every single
concern. There's been a few kills onto the Lesh, who really need some farm progression as well to turn into at least a pseudo core and be a bit tankier and hard to deal with. And Navi may lose GeneRaL as well.
Yep, Sunstrike, Meteor, mega kill streak for MidOne. This Invoker getting out of control. They're shutting down.
Actually, TP's in up here. They're right
Pie's tanking it.
Yeah.
Typical Pie.
Looks to be the case.
Stampede. Oh my god. All right. Biver's got the blink dagger. He'll send him back. He'll get the stun follow up, and everything is a-okay again in Navi's mind, but that was not the ideal smoke for them. And one holding the gem, but they are not going to run into GeneRaL. Never mind.
Yeah, he saw the Mud Golem, which Puppey is using as like a scouting tool, but he still gets down
GeneRaL.
I mean, it's hard. Like, I guess from like an observer point of view, it looks like Navi just keep getting and if the Golem finds someone, then Puppey can then go in and follow it up for a track. So you can really see the power of the Helm of the Dominator in use, and why Puppey wants to go for it on his bounty hunter.
He thought he could push into the dire jungle. Maybe that was miscommunication. Maybe he thought his allies were going to run with him, and they were just going to charge into the dire jungle. And not the case. They stay on the shrine, and everyone is crowded around the Roshan area, knowing that this is probably going to be the most important part of the game. They're going to be able to get an initiation on a Pylite die, so one support picked off. The other one may not die here. KheZu actually managed to get the stun onto Dendi. Dendi invised up, but they do have the vision of him. He starts getting away. Nice Chronosphere. Pajkatt locking in 4. They're going to be able to get the Burrow Strike off that with the RP. 4 down from Secret. That'll open up Roshan finally. It wasn't Dendi who found the MP. Almost finished him off, but Dendi does manage to hold on to it as the time lapse completes. Dendi with his Shadow Blade in a position. Nice double stun out from GeneRaL on the Puppey and Pylite die. That telekinesis is going to be thrown into Pi. They are going to get that 2-man Chronosphere. Now Dendi still waiting for his opportunity to catch some of the cores. The supports are going to end up going down. Finally the RP's laid out. It's going to be on MidOne. They want to stop this big damage dealer. Another great burrow strike out from GeneRaL. Hits KheZu as well on this side. Can they hit it with the skewer? They've got him. Bowls right into him. KheZu going to be stopped from being able to TP out. That will be a track kill for Na Vi since Biver had that one stolen away from Puppey. 4 down from Secret once again.
GeneRaL's going for the epicenter bottom. He wants MP. He'll get him, I think.
No, MP, is that going to be? Oh my God! It's the last bit of damage.
We're kind of in the late game, like the RP, the Chrono. It feels like you use one, you win a fight, they back up within the next minute or so.
Oh, another 2-man stun from GeneRaL. He just doesn't stop. The skewer back onto Puppey. Freebie for Na Vi on their way out.
They may just try Shrine up, wait these cooldowns, and go again. The Invoker is really the majority of their team fight, and Na Vi are ready to go again. They've got ultimates once more.
They know GeneRaL's in here. Do they really want to make this initiation? They don't manage to catch Pajkatt. They do hit GeneRaL and blow him up with a meteor. Now, the ultimate's going to be laid out by Pajkatt. He's trying to finish off MP. Does he have the damage? No, the time lapse goes off again. He gets a bash, though, double bash, and he does manage to finish off. KheZu going to be caught by a burrow strike. Puppey's up next. Biver right in front of his face. Looks like they're going to be able to get that kill. Nice turnaround by Puppey. That's a track kill as well. But in the end, Rubik is the only one who goes down, and Secret.
Save yourself against a Chronosphere or an RP. It's just going to come down to positioning and how you play it, and he's looking to play it by finding a free pick. Biver, bottom lane, can't do a whole lot against the Lincoln Sphere, and we'll get picked off.
Good kill. Gets him a little bit closer to that Octarine. But all the items in the world won't change the fact that Dendi is very clearly trying to play a neutralizer role. See if they can catch Pylite Die here. The Stampede goes off, slows some of them down. They do manage to kill Pylite Die here. The RP goes out from Dendi, but not feeling comfortable. Is going to try and skewer out. Blinks away. He's good. Still with the BKB. MidOne's going to try and hunt.
Good couple of kills there. Catching Na Vi a bit split up. Like they find the Rubik at bottom, which doesn't seem like a big kill, but it just means that once they find one more pick off, suddenly you've got a big numbers advantage. The 5v3.
Oh,
Pajkatt. But
he's got the BKB. If he could finish off MP inside this Chronosphere, he had a hard time last time with the Burrow Strike Epicenter coming in. That'll make it a whole lot easier. Pajkatt jumps forward, tries to go for more here, slowing down Puppey with the time dilation. KheZu helps him out. They're going to turn, try and blow up Pajkatt. They've got him. The BKB used inside the Chronosphere leads Pajkatt to his own death as he pursues out.
Into Invoker combo may cease to be the case, though, due to these new pickups.
MidOne looks for another pick, but Puppey does see a couple of rotating heroes. Pylite Die is going to be jumped on by the Burrow Strike. They're going to be able to follow up that stun. Biver gets picked off in the meantime. MP still trying to fight this one out with RMN with his physical damage, and now a 2-man Tornado into the Sunstrike. Sunstrike not really hitting there. RMN used his own Yule Scepter to try and buy himself time, but he is still going to go down. But on the other side of things, KheZu is being very disruptive. Right in front of all of Na Vi, does manage to disrupt.
4v5 fight. We'll
see if it's possible. They've got the vision. GeneRaL's sitting on the high ground with a ward. They see Pylite Die. Yeah, he's not the hero they want to go on. They do see KheZu here, and they're going to chrono KheZu. Now, trying to blow him up inside of this one, make sure he doesn't get off the Stampede, controlling him as much as possible. Dendi tries to make his initiation, but immediately gets countered. KheZu's still alive. Now he gets off the Stampede. Disaster strikes for Na Vi. Completely misreading how they could take down KheZu, and Dendi getting caught as he tries to make his second initiation. That'll be the Aegis, and that'll probably be a wipe here. As I'm not sure how Pajkatt's going to be able to get away, especially without that Lincoln's. Gets instantly Scythe-of-Iced, just like Dendi did. And Secret, huge win. Turn it into a push.
That was a very all-in. Racks down. It's going to be Secret playing from a very advantageous position. Puppey's got the Greaves. all the teamfight pieces coming together. Pilot even gets like a casual Aether Lens for some extra cast range to make sure he can get some of his spells off.
Oh, they do get him with the telekinesis and the chronosphere, so MP may end up dying here, but here comes that damage mitigation. The Glimmer Cape trying to save him long enough. The bash comes out, but there goes the time lapse. Now Dendi, he needs to find a good RP to be able to save this fight, but it doesn't look like it's possible. Pajkatt is also going to go down. RMN, his BKB wears out towards the tail ends of his TP. He ends up getting stopped by the Scythe of Ice, and now it's Dendi.
Items to me is what is winning every single fight. Having these Glimmer Capes, having the Greaves, the Solar Crest. The Solar Crest on numerous occasions has kept alive whoever's been Chronosphered, and it really has been the difference maker, the fact that Puppey and Pi have done so much.
Here comes that Epicenter, Burrow Strike just on the Puppey, and that's not even going to be enough to finish him off. General, it's going to be Scythe of Ice, and looks like he should go down here. Dendi makes his way back to the fountain, tries to get a skewer, but can't actually latch it in time, and there it is. GG called from Navi, despite a promising mid-game with all those team fights and big-time abilities. Navi will end up losing to Secret in their second best of 3, 2-0, and are